Welcome back to another Money Monday. Brendan here, Dad Planet. Holy moly, I got slammed this weekend. So I'm hopeful that you folks experienced a busy spell this weekend as well. There's only what, like 10, 11 days left until the Christmas holiday, and we don't have that much time left in the fourth quarter. So December has gone by really, really quickly in a very, very, very slow paced and slow moving year, virus and all that jazz. So I'm hopeful that you guys are out there killing it and making sales. If you're slower than normal, this is the episode you want to watch. There's 10 bolos in here that are just absolute monsters and lots of lessons to be learned, including what I expect to happen in January based on one of the bolos that's featured in this Money Monday segment. So stay tuned for that. And it will be sort of pandemic related, but whatever, we'll get into it in a second. And oh, by the way, if you've got a bolo that's preferably older than 20 years, like maybe in the vintage category that sold for a large dollar amount, you want it featured on the show, dadplanetofficial@gmail.com is my email address. Shoot me an email and I'll plug you up if it all makes sense. So let's get that out of the way. 10 bolos here, motivation for us to get into the stores, go to those estate sales, Craigslist, whatever it is, wherever it is you're sourcing, however it is you're getting your inventory. And let's get started with the first one, which is a vintage Shawn Kemp NBA jersey from Champion. Seattle Supersonics, they don't exist anymore, okay? If you watch some of my videos in the past, I've had some Seattle Supersonics items sell. In fact, if you look, there are about, I'm going to say around, we'll look at here in another couple screens, 800 current listings that have the keyword vintage Seattle Supersonics in it. And if you sort by sold, around 650 have sold. So anytime you find real vintage Seattle Supersonics items, chances are it's going to sell within the next 90 days. So this is Shawn Kemp. This was a size 44. The jerseys do very, very well. Now, it didn't settle in here at 325 bucks. It sold for 295, so just under $300. But here we are in the sold section of eBay, searching the keyword vintage Seattle Supersonics, and you can see 628 results. Not every one of them is going to be an absolute banger, but the key here is anytime you see Seattle Supersonics in the stores, do a double take, get your phone out, go through the whole rigmarole of running comps and doing all that stuff. They were moved to Oklahoma City, so the old Seattle Supersonics are now the Oklahoma City Thunder, or at least they were. When the move was made, and there's always talk every couple of years about Seattle getting a franchise back. So continue to source these items and make sure that it catches your eye when you find it, because it's probably going to sell for decent money. So I'll scroll through these just a little bit. Here's another, this was Sam Perkins, this Supersonics jersey. It got a bid for 95 bucks. Check this out. Supersonics vintage Christmas ornament. I didn't look to see what the actual price it sold for was, but I mean, dang, they started at 100. That's my seller right there. It's my kind of seller. Here's a vintage 90s Seattle Supersonics hat that sold for 36 bucks. Another Shawn Kemp right here for 207. Again, not all of them are created equal. Like this was a USA basketball jersey, so not necessarily Seattle Supersonics, but it still sold probably for around 30, 40 bucks. Another jersey there. So it looks like the jerseys are home run. Look at this hat from the 90s, 70 bucks. That's a banger right there. Oh, by the way, here is a Seattle Supersonics Sports Specialties Shadow hat. This is a little bit of foreshadowing, no pun intended, because there's a bolo in here that I want to really hone in on that has a hat in the style like this. So keep that in mind. We'll get to that later. This one sold for 88 bucks. It was way undersold. I would have priced this at a minimum of 150, possibly 200. That's just me. 73 for the mug. You get the idea. Supersonics, super hot. We'll move on to the next one. Okay, vintage York dumbbells, vintage York equipment, right? It's a bolo. So the fact that this seller got 300 bucks for 90 pounds is pretty awesome. Although I don't see a scenario where they could have shipped 90 pounds for $49, especially expedited. So I think they probably got taken for a ride on shipping. But anyway, York dumbbells, York weightlifting equipment. It's a bolo. So let's go through here. Look at these ones. The I don't remember what style these dumbbells are called. So someone's gonna have to call me out on that. But look at that, 600 bucks. with free shipping. Again, 100 pounds, that's going to cost a minimum of like $80 to ship. But York is a BOLO for sure. Never be afraid to ship super heavy items like this. Now, here's what's going to happen. There is still a large enough group of individuals who would rather not go into a gym setting, okay? So while like the rest of the country is like waiting with bated breath, or maybe they haven't even bothered and they're just attacking it now as if there's no pandemic going on at all. Waiting for this thing to sort of subside or go down with the vaccine coming with the virus and all that. But there's a large enough group that just doesn't want to go to gyms. So they're going to look to do all of their working out at home, okay? This is a much larger market than you would have found in years past. So what we have is kind of like a double whammy coming up where New Year's resolutions are going to be set, right? So in January, like everybody wants to start like joining the gyms and doing the workout stuff and yada, yada, yada. Oh, by the way, the time is absolutely right now to start sourcing fitness related equipment like curl bars, dumbbells, weights, you know, anything fitness related that you can get your hands on. It's going to be a busier January than lots of other Januaries that have passed because of the pandemic. So it's the perfect storm. New Year's resolution where everybody wants to lose weight, you know, gain muscle, whatever it is. January is when like all of the gyms do their membership business, or the vast majority of their membership business. So you've got that coupled with a massive market of people that want to do this at home to stay safe. So they're not going to want to like run off to the gym and do the whole germ thing, and you know, whatever your preference is, doesn't matter to me. The point here for resellers is the timing couldn't be better, and the market's never going to be as large as it is this coming January for fitness equipment. So that's why I have the York dumbbells in here, even though they're you know, now that you know that it's a BOLO, it's always going to be a BOLO. But fitness equipment for sure, you better be sourcing it in stores right now as we speak, because you've got so many more sellers to sell to this January than you have in January's past. All right, that's it for that one. We'll move on to the next one, which is like insane. A vintage alien lava lamp. Look at this thing. This isn't even the coolest one, by the way, but I want to show you the pictures of this. Like, this should catch everybody's eye at a thrift store for sure. So does it even show you a picture of it actually working? It doesn't, and that doesn't matter. This thing sold for $330. Icon series, perfect condition, but look at these. This one here, Xeno Rocket Embryo Alien Lava Lamp for $200. This is so creepy. Look at the next one here. Here's one that got 48 bits for $285. The one below that got $300. The price should not be going down, by the way. December 1st, December 6th, and December 9th. This is like amateur pricing 101. If this sold for $300, this one should have sold for $325. This one should have sold for $375. I don't know what and that's the problem when you're dealing with people selling on eBay, is most they're not running businesses. They don't care. Nobody's paying attention. But yeah, this is a $350 lava lamp that somebody just sold for $199. That's ridiculous. But anyway, I didn't check the price on this. Someone else, you're gonna have to go to Slab Watch or Flipper Tools or whatever. But let's say it's settled in at around $300. But vintage alien lava lamp, that's the key word. When you get one, it's a guarantee. $185 here, $175 here for that embryo looking thing. Even $60 for this one. What is that? Lipen Industrial? That might be, I don't know, that might be an import. Pretty sweet, pretty cool looking. We'll move on to the next one, which is a plastic cup. But it's not just any plastic cup, ladies and gentlemen. It's a vintage John Deere plastic cup. Now, the seller insists that this logo style was from the era of 1956 to 1968. The plastic cup had a little bit of wear on it, but look, $1,001. It got 63 bids, and ladies and gentlemen, all of these bids look legitimate. They even started it at $5. They started the bidding at $5, and it went all the way up to $1,001. There are no comparable sales like it. So it's an insane flip. 100% of the stores that you are shopping in are going to miss a cup that looks like this. It's going to have a $1.99 price tag on it. So always look for like John Deere memorabilia, you know, the vintage snapback hats, all that stuff is obvious. The ride-ons, I mean, you know, those things stores know about. This kind of item, a unique item like this, no one's catching it. So I hope you find it and you get $1,000. Always priced a little bit higher. But yeah, crazy sale. No sales like it in the last 90 days. We will move on to the next one. Everybody should be familiar with Pyrex. These are the like primary color nesting bowls. They're sweet. This is the top, as far as my eyes can see, the top of the market at $260 for these nesting bowls, which are not uncommon. And, you know, condition-wise, they look like they are in stellar condition. And I can't really tell you why they got $260 because here's a listing of them that sold for $50. It was a new listing. They had this way underpriced, so naturally somebody snatched it up immediately. Here's a set that got bid up 19 times for $102. This one was a best offer, but it is missing the blue one, I believe. Yeah, a set of 3. $88 here, $99 here, $90 here. You get the point. Now, what does this tell you? This tells you that there is a certain segment or a subset of the eBay buying market that is willing to pay between $250 and $300 for this set of 4 bowls in the condition you saw them in. So while you see everybody else listing yours at $80, $90, $100, the market's been set. You know, there's like a megaphone scream that's been sent out. Hey, we'll pay $300 for this. Consider that when you find these and you are pricing yours, okay? There's a Lego set right now that is like super, super limited edition. I actually have it behind me. I bought one that I am holding on to. It's a Lego Star Wars set that is selling for around $100. The set is worth almost $300, but you know, you have to deal with amateur sellers. They've got to sell through theirs before I can price mine at what I want to make mine at. And the same goes for these. $260. Price yours at $300, take a best offer at $275. Too many amateur sellers dominating the marketplace, but you as a professional come in and make that money and yeah, run away with more than double what the next person got. So keep that in mind. I hope that's a lesson that you folks all learn or try to implement as soon as you can, because it works time and time again for me. So anyway, let's move on to the next one. 5 bids. $430. And oh yes, this is a BOLO. This is a vintage from the mid-80s IBM Clicky Keyboard. It is a JI-J1 Model M industrial keyboard. I think you could also use the term mechanical keyboard. Now the reason clicky mechanical keyboards are a BOLO and are popular is because they are they're a little bit more comfortable for a lot of people to use. Not only that, they are certainly more durable than the keyboards that are being mass produced today. So when you like mix comfortability with durability and vintage, of course, this is the price you get, $430 for a keyboard like this. So like they're real clicky, like they have that clicky noise. You remember that. Like for those of you that remember these, you know what I'm talking about. And it's a BOLO for sure. Here's a brand new one just below this listing that sold, well, it says near mint, so not technically brand new, but sold for $550. Look at that, 300, 117 for a is it J1 or JI? I'm losing my mind. I think it's J1. But yeah, you're going to make over $100 easy. Look at this one, sold for, it says parts only, $160. Maybe it was partially working. Who on earth at a thrift store is going to look at that keyboard and price it at, you know, $300 and not $499? The answer is none of them. None of them. So keep your eye out for the IBM like clicky keyboards. Mechanical is a keyword you can use, like I said before. Industrial, go for it. Awesome BOLO right there. Yes, it is J1. And I'll move on to the next one. All right, so it's a vintage baseball hat lot. But if you haven't seen my video on what you should be looking for when you're sourcing vintage hats, I'm going to link that video in the description. I don't know what's taking you so long, but watch that video, because there are 2 The two main styles that I feature in that video were in this lot. Okay, so this got 2 bids for $260. I'm gonna maximize the pictures here. There are 3 that catch my eye instantly. The first one is the Michigan State Spartans. This is the shadow version of the sports specialties hat. The second one is this Denver Broncos. This is the script version of a vintage sports specialties hat. And then the third one is this Miami Hurricanes one that's black. I thought it was green, but it's black. Also sports specialties, also script. Watch that video that I link in the description. This lot sold for $250 without doing any homework. And again, you guys could check comparable sales, and I'm going to be way off here. I'm pricing, we're going to leave the Denver Broncos hat out because it looks like it's game signed by possibly like maybe some guys from the team. I don't really know how you're going to price the autographed versions, but alone, the Michigan State Spartans shadow hat, I'm pricing that at $199. The Miami Hurricanes hat, I'm also pricing that at $199. And I don't really know where the Denver Broncos one would lie autographed. If these are in fact like actual NFL players that autograph this hat, could be $200, $400. I don't really know. Well, let's just say for the sake of the argument, that's also $199. You've got $600 in 3 hats in this lot that whoever won it paid $260 for. That doesn't even include what you would price these hats at, which are still, you know, going to be high dollar amount, high value hats. So in my opinion, what an absolute steal for whoever bought this. And if they're savvy enough to resell them, kudos to them, because that is, I mean, these guys sourcing on eBay to resell on eBay. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt and say that that is in fact what's going to happen. And if they did, man, they did a damn good job of sourcing eBay to resell on eBay. So $600 in hats, just 3 hats there. That's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11 hat lot. Unbelievable. $260, way undersold. Super lazy by this seller. I don't mean to call you out, Brick Flair, but it is what it is. And we're going to move on to the next one, which is a cereal box. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, there is a market for vintage cereal boxes. Think about it though. Who keeps that stuff? You know, those things are and they had like, you know, some of them had toys in them, you know, if the box is not empty, which most of them should be, the ones that are being resold, the ones that we're going to look at here in the next screen. The graphics, the marketing on the back, like just really well done. And this one, super generic, but has, you know, Bugs Bunny on it. Has a little bit of tape. It looks like the seller or whoever they've sourced this from, like, really wanted to preserve this because there's tape on. So maybe they knew what they had. I don't know. Maybe whoever sold this the first time around, if there was a sale going on the first time around, kind of had an idea that this was valuable. I don't know how you could tell, but it did sell for $250. And it's from the 1960s. Really neat. And again, here's that back art. There's Pepe Le Pew. Amazing. Sylvester, the cat. That is just phenomenal. Is this the toy that maybe they had in there? I don't know what's going on here. Oh, maybe no. It's just a cutout. But anyway, huge market for vintage cereal boxes. I have vintage cereal box sorted by $100. So these are all the sales that have sold in the last 90 days for over $100. There are 43 results. Yummy Mummy, fruity Yummy Mummy for $175. I can literally taste the cereal. Now, I'm lying to you because I've never had fruity Yummy Mummy, but most of these, you guys are going to remember the flavors. Count Chocula for sure. So here's a like a lot that was sold for $100. Waffalos, check this out, $277. Huskies, I don't even know what this is. Flakes cereal, I've never seen that before. I don't really know. Post Toasties, best offer. Dunkin' Donuts cereal, man, $120. Kellogg's Pep Whole Wheat, who knows what that is? So it's whole wheat for $133. Gremlins cereal for $200. Rice Crinkles, really? Is this pre-Rice Krispie Treats? Like that's amazing. $300. You guys get the idea. Donkey Kong Jr. for $175. Let's see if we can find any other bangers. Whoa! Crispy Critters, sugar frosted cereal, a best offer on that. Look at these prices. 1954 Frosted Flakes, $500. Unbelievable. This is going to be tucked away in an abandoned house that you got the privilege of being able to source from, I don't know, you know, estate sales, or somebody that just really liked to collect brand related paraphernalia, that's where this will turn up. But I mean, it's such a cute and cool thing to see, so I wanted to feature it on this segment. So yeah, vintage cereal boxes, wherever you think you can find them, go grab them, because you're gonna make a ton of money on most of them if you do, and I will move on to the next one. So this is kind of a one-of-a-kind pennant. I don't know a whole lot about it. It's from 1914, Santa Monica, California. It looks like a dirt car race, and it sold for $2,464. That is outrageous. Vintage felt pennants, BOLO alert for sure. I'm going to move on to the next screen. I just searched vintage pennant and then sorted it by ones that were over 200 bucks. It's giving us 154 results. Scorching hot market. Kennebuck, $359 here. 1949 Yankees, 300. It got a bid. Seattle Pilots, this is a best offer. A bunch of Cincinnati, I think it's Cincinnati Picker, when I used to write down the street in Cincinnati from me, not that far away. I think of him whenever it sees Cincinnati related items. $299 for that lot. Navy, $225. A lot of 30 for 200. That looks like a steal to me. The Cleveland Barons, very, very interesting. Philadelphia Warriors, $216. You guys get the point. Big, big money. Vintage Green Bay Packers for $330. Let's see if we can see any other like super monsters. I don't see any that are. There's the 1945 Chicago Cubs World Series for $500. That's insane. I wonder if the Cubs had not recently won a World Series, if this would be worth more. Just a thought in my head. I don't know. Who knows? 500 is still pretty dang good. There you go. Green Bay Packers, 1,200. There's the top of the market for Green Bay. And yeah, Cornell best offer, unbelievable. Vintage felt pennants, keep your eye out for them. And this takes us to the last BOLO of Money Monday. I believe this is a holy grail of tiki mugs. And yeah, here it is. Elvis Presley, Blue Hawaii. Only 2 of these have sold in the last 90 days. This sucker got $2,495. And then there was one that has sold 5 days ago for $2,650. It's from the 1960s. Holy macaroni. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for Money Monday. Thank you so much for watching. Brendan here, Dad Planet. If you're not subscribed, find my picture, hover over it, and click subscribe. That helps me out. And then leave a like if you liked what you saw. dadplanetofficial@gmail.com. Thank you so much for watching. Get motivated, get it sold, and we will see you in the next video.